If you're not ready for victory, if you don't have the tazkiyah, it's a blessing that Allah won't give you victory, because it's better to be an oppressed than an oppressor. And if you don't think people right now in the Arab world, if they were given victory, what do you think they're going to do? What did they do to Gaddafi? Seriously. And he was a bad guy, undeniably. What did they do to him? Did they take him to a mahkamah? Did they follow the rules of engagement? They could have taken him to a mahkamah, tried for crimes against the people of Libya. No, they ripped him to pieces and filmed it. Is that how our Prophet came into Mecca? Seriously, is that how he came? Is that how Salahuddin al-Ayyubi came into Al-Quds? Is that how he came into Al-Quds? Even when they tried this guy Mubarak, you know, look at Nelson Mandela. He's not even a Muslim. When he came into power, and these are people that imprisoned him for the best years of his life, imprisoned him, put him in the worst prison, tortured him. He was tortured, did horrible things to him. He's not even a Muslim. And when he gets into power, he has the prophetic sunnah, and what does that do? Everybody, everywhere, except the worst type of people, love Nelson Mandela. Seriously, they love him. Because he practiced the prophetic sunnah, which proves that even a non-Muslim, if he practices the prophetic sunnah, it will have the same effect on the hearts of the people. But if we're not practicing the sunnah, Allah's not going to give people. Why should He give us victory? I can't find anywhere in the Quran where it says, Inna Allah ma'al muslimin. Show me in the Quran where it says, Inna Allah ma'al muslimin. Where? Who's Allah with? What's the ma'iyah with Allah? Inna Allah ma'al sabirin. Inna Allah ma'al ladina taqaw. Wahum muhsinun. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا mujahid. That's in Ankabut. That's a Meccan surah before jihad of the sword. Those who do mujahada, in other words, struggle against themselves. وَاللَّهُ مَعَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah is with the muhsinin. The Prophet ﷺ, his deen, the Muslims, like Omar, when he wrote to the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, Sa'ad, he said to him, you better be in a state of ta'ah, because Allah لا ينصرنا بالعدة ولا بالعدة وإنما ينصرنا بالطاعة فإذا استوينا في المعاصي نصرهم علينا. If we're the same in our disobedience, He gives them victory over us. He gives those with their kufr, He will give them victory over disobedient Muslims. Why? Because if they get victory, they're going to disgrace the religion. It's better to be oppressed than to be an oppressor. If you're not ready for power, if you're still in this thing, you're not ready to be here. Because when you get there, you're going to do what everybody does. When they get there, you're going to become the tyrant. And Imam Malik said, never believe anyone. This is in Qadi Abu Bakr's Ahkam al-Quran. He says, never believe anyone يخرج على الحاكم ويقول سأصلحه حينما أتولى الحكم. Don't believe those who say, I'm going to rectify things once I get into power. He says, you'll see, once they get into power, they'll be the same as the one that was in power. What does Allah say about the munafiqun? إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. What do they say? إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. That's always what the munafiqun say. The awliya, they don't say we're muslihun because they're too afraid to make that claim. In fact, in the Quran, Imam Qurtubi says the first proof that they're liars is that they claim to be muslihun. That's the first proof. So all these people talking about islah and once we get into power, we're going to set things right. That should be a big red flag for you. لا نعطي هذا الأمر من طلبه. We don't give this person, we don't give this, هذا الأمر is the word in the prophetic tradition for power, state power. لا نعطي هذا الأمر من طلبه. We don't give this to people that seek it. We don't give this to people that seek it. There goes elections. Gee, there goes democracy. Vote for me. وَلَا مَنْ حَرَصَ عَلَيْهِ. Or those who are in power and they're clinging to it. Because all the intelligent people, they don't want to be in power. Malik Idris tried to, كان يتنازل عن الحكم. He tried in Libya several times. He said, I don't want this. I just want to go and worship Allah. And they wouldn't let him. Those are the type of people you want in power. Not people seeking after it. Oh, but the Prophet Yusuf, اجعلني على خزائن الأرض. Make me على الخزائن الأرض. If you're the Prophet Yusuf, I'll trust you. And then that was also dawah strategy, because he was showing them, he wasn't asking to be the head of the Muslim state. He was asking to show the disbelievers what righteousness is. That was his dawah. So these are the responses. If you're in ni'mah, the response is shukr, gratitude. If you're in ma'asiyah, it should instill fear in you of the adab of Allah, and that should lead to tawbah. If you're in niqmah, difficulties, tribulations, then isbiru wa sabiru. Be patient and tell others to be patient. Wal asri inna al-insana lafi khusr. By the nature of time, you're in loss, you're losing. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. That's it. Tell each other what the truth is, and then tell each other to be patient. And then if you're in ta'ah, you should have hope. But ta'ah, the corresponding virtue of ta'ah is shuhud al-minnah. It's to witness the gift of Allah, that you had tawfiq, so you don't get arrogant. Allah says, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. In that ayah, the ulama say that the first one, he begins with ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ for raja, for hope. So this is the ma'asiyah. So you have a believer who's in ma'asiyah, ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. But he's still من الذين أخذ نصيبا من الوراثة. He took a portion of the wiratha. أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا. So he's Mustafa. He's a chosen if he's a believer. And so that's to give hope. And then the muqtasid in the middle, because he inclines to both. Sometimes he's in ma'asiyah, sometimes he's in ta'ah. And these are the nafs al-ammara, nafs al-lawama, and nafs al-mutma'inna. The last one, sabiqun bil khairat, is the only one that Allah says, bi-idhnillah. He doesn't say the other ones, because that will say, oh, the reason I'm sinning is because, Allah kataba alayya hada shay. No. But for the one who's in obedience, what does Allah say? He's in obedience because Allah permitted him to be in obedience. And that's why you should have shuhud al-minnah. So as long as we're out here in this outer circle, these are the ahwal that we should encompass. So, Allah.